And welcome. We are live. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it's Thursday night, if it's 7:30, it's Thursday Night Live with Broken But Not Wasted Ministries. We welcome you to this platform. We usually meet on Thursday night, and again, this is to educate, to inform, to keep you abreast. We bring different professionals, especially from our Haitian community, who are accomplishing a lot in terms of business and advancing, progressing socially as the Lord wants us to, because the Word of God says that above all, He wishes that we prosper in all things as our souls prosper. So on Thursday Night Live, we do not only do as you know, this ministry is a Christian ministry. We just don't do just the spiritual aspect. We also bring you the social, okay, the earthly aspect of things. So for this reason, this Thursday tonight, we have a beautiful guest who was so graceful to grace this platform with her presence. So, nous disons bon Dieu merci pour lui parce que lui remplit espace là. Li permet li vini permet nou gen la platform na. She is a travel advisor, and you guys know since COVID-19 it's been very very hard. After being during confinement, we were not able to travel or go anywhere except for like the essentials, going to the stores. Things have opened up now, but we miss traveling because traveling is part of life, to discover nature, to discover new things. So, with that said, I'm going to read my guest's bio tonight and then introduce her to you. Sonia, her name is Sonia MONCHER. She is a licensed advanced nurse practitioner by trade. She's worked as a pediatric nurse for over 2 decades, focusing in the field of pediatric oncology. She always wanted to work with children since she says herself she's a child and she loves taking care of her babies. Her traveling journey started in her early childhood with her best friend, who was also her traveling partner. They were fresh out of college, and now they are both working adults with the freedom to travel, and they took advantage of it. So she's been planning travels for herself, for friends, for families. You know how that goes. When you love to do something, everybody knows you love to do it and you're good at it, so they pull on you to do things for them, for her coworkers and anyone who wanted her help with their traveling plans for decades. So it has been a long time dream of hers to turn this passion into a business. Yes, she's turned it into her own business, Mon Cher Amour Travel. So she's here to talk to us, to tackle some myths and some conceptions about traveling right now. So, Miss Sonia, welcome to this platform. Merci parce que vous venez dans l'espace ça pour capable parler avec nous, éduquer nous, talk to us about traveling, your dream. Tell us a little bit about who you are other than what we just said in your bio. There's got to be something to this beautiful smiley face of yours. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you, Miss Sarah, for having me today. And I am very, very excited to be here. So, um, as you said, today we are here to talk about traveling, and that is a joy for me in my life. My little, basically, my little life motto slogan right now is nursing is my life, traveling is my passion, fashion is my joy. Those are the things that I'm very passionate about. And the people who loves me, the people who knows me, they know those things bring excitement and joy to my life and make me very happy. As you read earlier just now, I am a nurse by trade. I've been a nurse for a long time now, um, but nursing has always been a passion. That's what I do. That's what I love. I love taking care of my kids. However, I also do have other things that I'm passionate about, and traveling is one of them. But I've been traveling with my best friend for a very, very long time. We started when we were very young, fresh out of college, as stated, and we've been traveling ever since. We always make that part of our lives, and it brings us a lot of joy. It brings us a lot of peace. It brings us a lot of memories, a lot of good, as I call it, travel love stories. So I was invited here today to speak with you guys by Ms. Geralda Duvernay after after having the pleasure of planning a wonderful vacation for her. As most of you know, Ms. Duvernay will be reviewing her vows, and what better occasion for creating a travel love story, as I call it, than love itself. So she gave me the opportunity to help her create that. And so
Yeah,
she has asked me to come and speak to you guys, encourage you, and share what travel can bring to your life, what travel means to us. Um, as Miss Sarah said, we've been living over the past year in basically a displaced world. Our life have been turned upside down. A lot of us have been confined. A lot of us cannot do the things that we used to do anymore. A lot of us are eager. A lot of us are starving to return to normalcy. And some of us, part of it is traveling. And for those that traveling had not been part of their life, a lot of people have voiced the need to do so because they feel like it'll be an escape. It will it will help them put behind all this chaos that has been created recently. So with that
absolutely,
said,
absolutely. I was smiling. I was all smile when she said her motto is try. Please say it again for me. Repeat what you said. I think she put a little bit of fashion there. I'm with you on
yes.
that, okay? Because your home girl loves to look good, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yes, yes. Go
Yes.
ahead
So
and
my
please
little
tell us.
slogan is nursing is my life, traveling my passion, fashion my joy.
Let's say if we can get this. Nursing
Is my life,
is her life,
traveling
traveling
my passion,
her passion, and
fashion my
passion.
joy.
You go, girl. That is so wonderful. Perfect. And like
Thank
you
you.
said, traveling, we've been yearning to go out. And it's good, when you feel so, at times you feel so, edgy and a little bit stressed. It's good to change, pour changer air. Même si c'est 2 heures de temps, you drive off and you go somewhere, it is absolutely good for the mind. Okay,
Definitely.
that's what we're talking about. The soul, the mind. It's good. Traveling is good. So, Miss Sonia, you said that it started from your childhood. How do you get the love, the passion for traveling?
So it started early adulthood. My best friend and I, we met in high school
Mhm.
and we separated and went to college. She went away for university. I stayed local, but we remained close friends. And once we graduated, she moved back home. And we just started doing things to just bond better and strengthen our relationship. And traveling was one of the things. The other thing we used to do, we used to love to go out to different restaurants and go to the movies. So movies, restauranting, and traveling was our thing. So we started to travel. The first time we traveled, I think we were 20 or 21. First trip ever was to Orlando, and we thought that was the best thing in the whole wide world. And our but our first international trip was Jamaica. It was one of our cheap trips, but we had a blast. We made the best of it. We went away for a long 5-day weekend, and we took Jamaica by storm. And we've been doing that ever since.
They took Jamaica by storm,
Yes, we
y'all.
did.
They took Jamaica by storm. They enjoyed it. Now, coming from a Haitian background, you're saying that you started in early adulthood. You were 21, or 21, and then you and your friend, you just decided, you know what, let's just go to Orlando, then next to Jamaica. How was that dynamic? How did that work? Parents like, what? Ki koto pral voyager, de moun pou kont nou,
Yeah.
things like that. How did that work? How did you pull that one off?
It was hard because our parents, our culture. So they're very strict, and I grew up in a religious household, so that makes our parents even stricter. So a lot of it was very difficult. Um, but my parents were okay, and I can say I was a very good child and young lady. So they trusted me. So we were very responsible young adults. So our parents gave us some leeway in regards to that. And
Good.
so we were able to, travel and let them know that we do know. We also spoke to them, made them feel that we do understand their concern. I understand the concerns parents have. A lot of time concerns are valid. However, you guys have provided your children with all the teaching, the the morals, and most of all, godly education to know right and wrong, to know what's to do. So they are responsible. They know what to do. They are able to travel. And as I said, at that age, we were young adults. We went to college, we graduated, we're now working. We had financial freedom and also the freedom, to be able to do those kind of stuff. And we were those were things that interested us. Opening up our mind, freeing our mind, and learning new culture, learning about different places, how other people live. So we wanted to make that part of our lives. So we started to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, before we continue, guys, I'm going to ask you to share mak mande nou pou nou partager le nou men invite yo sou plateforme nan, c'est pour nous encourager yo avec non seulement présence nou, mais pour nous partager avec zami nou, avec famille nou. OK, and m'a rappelé nous pour nous continuer kembe pays nou Haïti en prière. Demain, si Dieu veut, nous connaissons un grand jour. OK, kembe pays en prière. Please share this broadcast right now. Love the guest. Go ahead and give us some likes right now. Love her, okay? Love her
Thank you.
smile. Encourage her because we're gonna get into the gist of things. She is here to dismantle some myths and misconceptions about traveling. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia?
Yes,
Because there
ma'am.
are so many myths surrounding traveling. Like well, I'll let you elaborate. Like I said, two young ladies, koto prale, de gentil fouye pour travel by yourself. Bon, pas de bon Dieu, même if the person is totally alone, even if they book the trip as a group, moun ap toujou di yo ko, oh, moun pa voyager pour konto, ou pa gen fan, ou pa this. She's here to dismantle some of those myths and clear those misconceptions. So, partager live lan pou nou kapab wrap our minds around the fact that traveling is part of life. Même nan
Yes,
community
ma'am.
haïtienne nou, parce que nou néglige ça. Go ahead, Miss Tanya.
All right. Well, like we said, today I'm here to take the opportunity to encourage everyone this is my traveling model, to love life and start traveling. And some people are like, well, I love my life, I don't have to travel to love my life. But traveling brings a lot to our life, and it does for us. So because of that, my motto is love life and start traveling. Start creating your own travel story, as I said earlier about Miss Duvernay, who is basically just planned her vacation to create a travel love story for herself. So start traveling and start doing that. Because as any traveler can tell you, anytime you travel, there are memories to be made. There are memories made and stories to tell. And I always find something to love about my destinations when I travel, whether it is the people, the place, the food, and food is a big part of me loving a place that I travel. Also the culture, or sometimes it's just the hotel where you stayed. You may go somewhere and stay at a beautiful all-inclusive that provided you with all the relaxation that you needed to, get some stress off of you and make you feel much better. So that's your travel love story. And those are memories. You create that. And for me, instead of just saying memory, I say it's travel love story, because my friends and we travel. I am part of a great group of friends that there's always somebody always ready and willing to go travel somewhere. And we always reference the memories we made. There are always something fun or something that happened between somebody that we reference. And we've been doing that for decades together. And now we're growing old with those stories. So again, I say create memories and love stories on that vacation, on any vacation you take.
That is great. Well said, Miss Sonia. And I always tell my kids, when you are taking pictures and they're like, "Oh, mommy," they don't want to take pictures. I'm like, we're making memories. In a few years,
Yes,
when you're looking at those pictures, you're like, "Oh, you are making memories." So
yes.
you are making love stories by
Travel love stories. Yes.
absolutely. So Miss Sonia, talk to us about budgeting for traveling, because a lot of times people will tell you, well, one of the excuses that people will come up with is like,
Yes.
well, I would love to, but we would love to, but we don't have the money, so let us work until we drop dead, okay, and we never go on vacation. So talk to us a little bit about how how much money, like, would you need to travel, like a decent trip to make a love story.
That is one of the first and the number one myth that I am going to talk about. Before I move on to that, though, I did want to encourage the people and let them know how traveling is not just a great thing to do because you want to, but as you know, I mentioned I am a nurse. So therefore, I wanted to share some of the health benefits of traveling. And I have found some information for you on WebMed that shows you that traveling to new places is good for everybody. If you're stressed at work, a vacation can be the best solution. Traveling can improve your mental health by helping you feel calm. And this is, I know WebMed, I didn't get this information for a medical journal. However, if you do the research, you will find those in medical journal. Things like traveling is something that will help you with your mental status. Taking time from work to see places releases the stress you've been holding on to. Relieving the tension and stress of your work life lets your mind relax and heal. Being under pressure at work not only stresses your mind and body, but also hurts your physical health. And we don't need that. And a lot of us, we know when we're tense and when work has gotten us to have too much pressure, and you could feel the being tense all over your body. Traveling also allows you to reset. And that's one thing I always say. I feel like traveling allows me to rewind, reset, and get back to what I was doing, but in a better state of health. So making time for regular travel can help a better impact on your mental health and your physical health. Going to different places regularly can improve the benefits you get from vacations. Some people can feel the positive impacts of their vacation for up to 5 weeks after they return home. Um, it improves your mental power. It increases your creativity at work. People are like, really? Traveling increases? But it has been shown that getting out and exploring the world can boost your creativity. People who travel more can come up with diverse ideas. And it's just simple. It's because they have obtained new exposure to cultures, and they've made some, they probably have made some international friends. Studying new languages or taking different type of food and music has linked to better problem solving skills. So not only does it help you physically, it helps your job also, so that's a good thing overall. um, so the thing that I wanted to say to everybody is work-life balance is great, which is what we just spoke about, how traveling can help with that, with work-life balance and all the stressors of health, of work. However, we want to focus more on our overall well-being, and having new experiences, having new travel experiences is beneficial for improving brain function and boosting your mental health. Travel has been linked to stress reduction and can alleviate symptoms of anxiety and depression. Whether you're going to another country or escaping for a long weekend in a nearby town, traveling can have a strong impact on your mental health. And that is a great thing, and you need that. We need uh, ways to de-stress. We need ways to improve our health. And that is very good to know that travel is can help us gain those benefits. So now moving on to the question that Ms. Sarah mentioned earlier. So for the rest of the evening, I am going to focus on these misconceptions about traveling, some misconceptions about using a travel advisor, and also the benefits of using a travel advisor. So to answer Ms. Sarah's question, the first thing that is on our list, and it is the number one misconception, that travel is too expensive. So Miss Sarah asked about a budget. How much would it cost? For me, the answer is there is no budget for a good vacation. Traveling is possible at whatever budget you have. As I said earlier, as I mentioned about our my friend and I, the first trip we took, we traveled, and we traveled on a low budget. So travel is possible at any budget. You just have to be flexible. That's the main thing. So if you want luxury, you can have luxury and it will
Can
be
I
great.
can I interject right there, Miss Sonia, if you don't mind,
Not
please?
at all.
But the thing is, why is it that money is the first excuse or one of the main excuses that people will bring up for traveling? Because, yeah, I can travel on a low budget, but I personally don't want to be pinching pennies and scraping little, change while I'm traveling. I want to, I want to spend. I want to be able to not only see things, but when I get there, I want to experience the place, the culture, the food, I mean, I want to be spending when I'm on vacation. Am I right, you guys?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's one of the, ça c'est une souci que mon nage on bakal ju sa lon kote pi pou m'chita m'baka achita rien,
you
m'baka le
don't.
restaurant, m'baka chi bel bagay. You know what I mean?
I do
So sorry.
understand that. And the answer for me to that is planning. So you want a nice vacation. You want a vacation that you want to be able to spend and go buy this and do a lot of tours. So in order to do that, if you're not a rich person or you're like overly wealthy, you want a wonderful vacation, a wonderful luxurious vacation, you plan for it. Instead of just waking up tomorrow and say, "Oh, I want to go over there and be able to spend a whole lot of money that I don't have right now." You said, "I want to go to this destination, and I am going to plan for that for the next 6 months." So you go in 3 months or 6 months. You plan for your vacation. Therefore, you will have what you need to enjoy your vacation as you wish. But the point I was making is there is traveling at any budget. Like you said, even if you take 2 days or a day and go to a nearby town, just go out of town, even traveling within the states. That travel can be very rewarding, can be very exciting. We don't always have to go overseas or international or have a big budget vacation in order for it to produce the same effects that I was talking about earlier. So it is also a mindset. So, like I said, that is a misconception because it is not, you don't have to have $10,000 to go on a trip. You can have you can have $2,000 and create a trip to your liking satisfactorily and enjoy yourself and have fun. So traveling is available at any budget. That's what I want people to understand. You don't have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 years old to say, I'm going to travel, because you can travel now. And everything for in our life, whatever we want to do, we make a priority. So that's another thing. If it's a priority, if you prioritize it and it's important to you, you can do it. So those, to me, that's why it's a myth.
Yes. And that's very important what you said. You ou pas obligé rester jusqu'à ce que 70 ans, 75 ans fin travail. It was said that there was a father who worked, never took a vacation all of his life, waiting to retire so he can go on vacation and enjoy a little bit of time, with the family. But shortly after he retired, he passed without
Yes.
ever taking the time to have a vacation and to breathe. So yeah, that is very, absolutely, very,
And
very.
the example you just gave is not just a random example, it is a common one. It happens to many. Many people wait until they're a certain age, until retirement, until a certain. But as we have learned from just the experience we just had last year, you don't know what tomorrow will bring. So you cannot say I will, you don't have to, or you should not have to wait until 50, 60, 70 to travel. Make it part of your priority, make it part of your joy, make it part of your passion, and do it. So that's why, that's the number one myth. So we say, I think people say I don't have the money because, that way they can tell themselves I can't travel. But if you want to do it, there is, like I said, there is a travel for every budget. And that I know for a fact, because I've traveled on all kind of budgets. So myth number two, most people always say, I don't have time to travel. So that's the second thing people are always saying. I don't have time. I don't have time. So again, if you want it, you can make time for it. If you make it part of your, because you can go away to an all-inclusive for 3 days and feel like you were a world away and come back all refreshed, renewed, and rejuvenated, because you're there doing and just enjoying yourself and relieving all the stress and leaving all the stress behind. Vacation doesn't have to be for 2 weeks in order for it to be great. A 3 day getaway, a 5 day getaway. And a lot of people are able to do a long weekend. If you're not able to get a whole week off, you're able to get a long weekend. Some teachers may not be able to have a lot of time during the year, but you have time during the summer. Some of us have, winter holidays that are available. So, as I said, most of these misconceptions, a lot of them occur also because of lack of planning. So if you want to travel and you want to have money to spend, you plan to have that money. If you want to make time, you plan for the time. So a lot of it has to do with planning. So That's what I feel. You need to be flexible in regards to traveling. If and you need to you need to plan, not just planning the actual vacation, but you need to plan to take the vacation. Like, make time for it, plan your money for it. Myth number 3, and you brought this up earlier, Miss Sarah. Women shouldn't travel alone. Traveling is too dangerous. And like you said, in our culture, especially when it comes to women, or if you're not married and you're single, that's the main thing. A lot of parents don't want it. A lot of people think it's wrong. You shouldn't be traveling alone. But you can travel. You can travel alone. There's a lot of tours that create a lot of travels for people like that, so that your traveling is scheduled, your traveling is safe, your traveling is detailed. It's not like you're going to be wandering the streets. You know where you're going. And a lot of time, it just needs for you to, when you're traveling alone, you just need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to also always do a little background check on where you're going before you go. And that's not just because of danger, but it is good to be aware of the culture of the place you're going to. Just to be respectful of the people, that of the area you're visiting, and for you to know what to expect. And when you do that, you can travel safely, because there are ways to travel safely without putting yourself in danger. And the other myth that we hear a lot, there's just too much planning involved. Yes, there is a lot of planning involved, hence why you should use a travel advisor.
That's when you
Because,
come in. That's
yes,
correct.
ma'am.
That's exactly what I
So
was going to
therefore, you don't have to worry about that misconception at all, because that's what we are here for.
say.
Finally, the other misconception you hear a lot, and it is, you hear it, and sometimes it does happen. There are people that say it's more dangerous for Americans to travel in some parts of the world. All foreigners are out to rip them off. I read an article the other day, and it says, well, there is no need for you to go around walking around saying, I'm an American, I'm an American, I'm an American. You don't have to have it written on your forehead. You need to, like I said, do your research, know where you're going, respect the culture of where you're going, assimilate into the place that you are visiting. I have a perfect example, and this is something that I experienced. And a lot of time, this is why sometimes Americans feel like they are not welcomed. I have spoken to some people from other countries. Like, a lot of time you hear people say, I'm not going to Paris because Paris, they don't like Americans. Well, I've spoken to a lot of Parisians, and the issue is we come to the country expecting them to speak your language, expecting them to do things out of in your culture for you. But they said, when I go visit America, nobody speaks French. Nobody tries to speak French for me. Even if I speak, you know, even if they speak English, they want you to make the effort just to say bonjour, or just to say, excuse-moi, excuse-me. Just try to speak and try to, it is about a respect they feel. That's why Americans feel like they don't get the love. And that's why they said they don't feel like they need to show the love, because they don't get it either. Because we come with this expectation that they don't. I had the experience that I will never forget, because it seemed so weird to me. We were in Greece, and I experienced this lady in the airport, at the cafes in the airport in Greece, going from one cafe to another, the little cafe booth at the international airports, looking for a bagel. And she was so adamant about the bagel, like she wanted a bagel, and felt like they should have been selling bagels in Greece. So those are the things, if we, when those are, what we put out, sometimes foreigners don't, reciprocate well with those.
Yes,
So
I can
those,
perfectly understand what you're saying. Been to Europe, and it's a different world. It's a different culture, and a lot of times on this side, Americans do not understand when they get there. You have to adjust and accommodate to their culture. All right, I've seen people throwing fits because they were changing currency, euro in American dollars into euro. And when they told them at that time, I think the rate was a little bit high. When they told them it was like 700 or something euros for 1,000 American dollars, the guy hit the roof. I mean, made a big scene. It was like you standing there, like, okay, all right, this is us here in Europe. So yeah, I can understand the friction why at times we may perceive that they don't like us. But I, for one, found the French people very friendly. When we traveled, we chose to use public transportation just so we can be out and about, and we used train to go to Italy and so on and so forth. Si yo wò kampe sou ke a yap mando ki koto prale. Wale vous madame, yo wè ke se pa mèm moun yo wè ke nou pa maybe français, yo mando. I found them to be very, very helpful. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but again, it might be a perception thing.
right.
So yes,
But I always say, I think we need to always do a little bit of education, educate ourselves about where we're traveling to, so we can show respect to the people where we're visiting. It's like
respect is
going to someone's
important.
house.
Yes, respect
Yes.
is important. Respect
Respect the culture. It's like
yes,
going to somebody's house. You need to, be respectful when you get to someone's house. So basically, when they come to your home, you want them to behave certain way. So when you go to their home, you should behave a certain way.
yes.
So to me, I always find that that makes a big difference when you are traveling abroad. So that helps. Having knowledge of, what to expect also helps you.
Hmm.
Because if you've never traveled there, you don't know what you're going to get. But if you read and you educate yourself a little bit prior to your travels, then I think it makes it much better and much
Yes,
easier to
yes.
know what to do and what to expect.
Yes, absolutely. Because I think we were a little bit under like a culture shock, and I mean, we didn't know what to expect. You hear, this is grand, this is Europe, and but you find that the spaces are very narrow, very small, and the servings of food when you go to the restaurant, they're very small. So we kept saying, we are from America.
Doesn't matter.
We're used to big portions.
No, ma'am. There's no big
we,
portions.
we bring all that money, and when it's like, what? Wait a minute, is this?
Where's the rest of the
Where's
food?
the real food? So we didn't know. Yeah. So
Same thing with your
education.
hotel room. You go to Europe and you're like, okay, why
Yes.
I can't fit inside this bathroom?
Exactly. Exactly.
Everything is smaller. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just, doing that makes it a world better when you travel. You already kind of know what to expect.
Yes.
You're still going to be shocked because you're going to be in the midst of it, but I
Mhm.
think you'll be less thrown than if you don't know at all what to expect.
Right. Right. So you did talk about budget, about women not being. They tell you that you can travel alone. Now, someone asked about safe places, places that don't have any social or political unrest that could put the tourist life in danger.
That do or does not
Places that
have political unrest.
right, that can put the people's life in danger if they're visiting. So,
Right.
what about that? Talk
So
to us
those
about
things,
safety while traveling.
so a lot of times those things, you will find even when you're doing a quick search, or you trying to book your ticket, most airlines will put out a warning. You know, there's right. So let's take our own country, for example. If you try to travel to Haiti right now, the minute you put that airport, it will give you a warning that there is possible danger traveling to Haiti. So they warn you. If and they warn you even when it's for COVID. They told you where. So if there's a illness, if there's a disease running rampant and it's killing people and it's causing problem and people are being warned not to travel, a lot of times just in your on your airline when you're trying to search for it, it tells you. But there is a .gov where you can go. I don't have the information with me, but if you need that, I you can feel free to contact me and I'll get it for you. That you can go that tells you all the different areas, different countries you're traveling to, and warnings and danger about them. Um, and there are some places it is, I've always wanted to travel to Turkey, but usually when we travel as a group of women, and Monaco is another one. So people they always say don't travel as a group of women without a man to Monaco or Turkey. So I haven't gone because of that. But the last time I met someone from Monaco in Paris, the guy was like, "Yes, we understand, but it is not true. The country is safe for you to travel." And people from there will tell you, you need to be aware you're going to travel there. You need to stay in more of the touristic area. Don't go adventure out to places like, in the countryside or places that you shouldn't be. And that's where you put yourself in danger. So, like I said, a little research, a little gets your information. That is the safest way to travel. The other way to do it is to let your travel advisor do it for you. That's why we're here.
Yes,
We
so
know
tell
a
us,
lot of times we know of those information. So if you are using a travel advisor, you should ask them. You should ask them about places. If you're going somewhere, you should always ask them whether it's you know, if there are any concerns for safety when you go there. And a good travel advisor would kind of, tell you or inform you. If you told me to book you a trip to the Middle East right now, based on certain areas, I would actually go and get all that information for you, to let you know that it is some of those places are not safe to travel.
right, right. And that
Yeah.
is your role. That's what you do.
Yes.
Not just planning the trip and then leave the person.
Right.
That's very important. And also, travelers must be very careful at taking heed to what their travel advisors say, because recently there was a very, very unfortunate incident that happened in Haiti where an American missionary, got shot, and they had to provide care for him, bring him back home, and provide medical care, which the insurance did not want to cover because he traveled to an unsafe area.
Yes.
So yeah, we need to be very careful. Tout le
And
monde qui
if
va
it's known to be unsafe and you are warned, there are governmental warning not to go to those places when there are political unrest. And if you get into certain situations, that's why it's understandable that the insurance didn't cover, because it is common knowledge that you should not be there.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, gen moun nou konen ap te tu ap di non, fòm al nan misyon an, fòm ale kanmen, chak juye m toujou ale, ou bien chak juye m toujou ale, fòm ale kanmen. So yo pou ale kont konsey of the travel advisor and go anyway. But if you do that, you are on your own.
Yes.
You are pretty much on your own as far as insurance goes, because you're going to raison fè yo mette, the level of safety or unsafety in those areas. So tell us, Miss Sonia, about MONCHER Amour Travel, which is your business. Before we close, we have all the information on the screen. We're going to take a couple of questions, but tell us about MONCHER Amour Travel.
So as mentioned, it is a home-based travel agency, and I am able to. One of the myths about using travel agents, some people feel that we're only good for booking huge group or long vacations, and that is not true. We are available to book any kind of vacation for you. We are there to provide you with information. We are there to guide you, and hence why I like the the title travel advisor versus travel agent, because I feel like my job is to advise, to help you and guide you, to plan the best vacation for you. And what we do, we consult with you. If you contact me for a vacation, the first thing I do is to have a consultation. So my consultation will consist of everything from your budget, your likes, what type of hotel, if you're a frequent traveler, what type of hotel you like to stay in, where would you like to go? What do you like to do on your vacations? What make you happy when you go on vacation? The vacation is for you. So we plan according to your likes, your needs, what you want out of your vacation. That's the best way to give you the best vacation possible. So, like I said, I consult to find out what's best for you, and I send you proposals. I tell you what is available from what you told me, and I work with you. The best thing about having a travel agency, a travel agent or travel advisor, is that we are there for you throughout the whole travel, from planning before the vacation even exists, until the end when you return home. We follow up with you. We make sure everything is going accordingly. We plan, we make sure we are there to help you think of the things that you may not think of. Like some people don't know. You might have a passport that is expiring next month, and you think, yeah, I'm going to Paris. I'm going to Paris this week because my passport expired next month. You are not going to Paris if your passport expires next month, because for travel, international, for travel, you need at least 6 months of in your passport before it expires to go anywhere. And people are like, okay, I have that. And some people are frequent travelers and their passport are almost stamped and booked. You need to have multiple pages available on your passport for you to travel. Because if you don't have pages left, they are not gonna allow you to use that passport to travel. So things that we're there to advise, we're there to help you to plan better and not have a stressful vacation. And sometimes people think, well, they're only here to get their commission, they're here to make money off of me. I don't make any money from you if you don't book with me. So the benefit of me booking with me is to have you as a client, for you to continue to come back. So I am not going to try to, force you to get a vacation that you don't want, or kind of vacation that's not beneficial for you, that's going to make you happy. And when you come back, you feel even worse than before. So that's what makes it, better, great to have a travel vacation.
Right.
I am reading here from
I
Miss
have a
Azor.
question.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we
If
hire a travel consultant or a travel advisor, how long does it take to plan the trip? And is there a payment plan?
so,
Those are very good questions. Thank you, Dr. Azor, for asking those questions.
So basically, once you contact me, as I said, I will most likely reach out. We will have a first consultation. After the consultation, then I is just for me to gather all the information that I need, your budget, what you want, what's gonna make it a great vacation for you. From that time, most likely within 3 days to a week, I will get back to you with um, three different proposals. And those proposals are, this is the different types of vacation based on what you asked for that I have found. And in regards to a payment plan, um, and part of, she said, how long it takes to plan the trip. The trip continues to be planned for a while until, but once I have a proposal, have given you proposals that's because I have been able to put together your packages for you, or I've been able to plan it. But sometimes people are not ready. Sometimes people want, it changes based on the proposal I come back, or something happened and the person wants something different. So the planning can go on until, and like I said, we are there planning the vacation for you and with you until you travel, until you actually return home. Because I know many a time, many travel agents, many travel advisors who've had to call the hotels for their clients to make sure everything is, if there's any issues, make sure everything is going great. So we are there throughout the whole process. Um, to answer her second portion of the question, is there a payment plan? Payment plan is per the search engine we use. So if it is a search engine that provides a payment plan, it goes according to them, not us. Because we are just basically linking you to those search engines, to those places to purchase your vacation. So the money is not coming to us. We don't touch any money. Money doesn't come to my account and then I pay for it. Money is just going straight. For me, I send you an invoice of what it costs, and you authorize your payment. I make the payment for you. But basically, it's just an authorization you're giving me to make payment. So, as an example, I've used Vacation Express, and they do provide some a payment plan. So throughout the whole time, I will give you a time frame of when payments are due, when you can make your payments. And I'll be there to make sure you don't miss your deadline to make your final payment. So that's how you can end up with a payment plan. Sometimes you don't, because if where we're booking the vacation doesn't allow it. If I'm going straight to a hotel, that doesn't allow a payment plan, so you have to pay there. So that's how it is. It depends on what search engine, and how the vacation is booked.
Right. Okay. She has another question. Is there a price match? And how does the price compare to Travelocity or Expedia or Hotel.com or
So as I said, those are search engines. So Travelocity, Expedia. So there are like hundreds of different search engines out there. So basically, if you, I know some people like to do their own planning, or they'll come to us to plan, but at the same time they are looking out there. If you come and you find something better than what I find, there are some search engines I can call up and said, hey, my client found this, but she loves to use me as a travel advisor. So are you able to match that? It's based on the search engine. Like I say, we are connecting you with the best place to purchase your travel. And in regards to how do they compare to Travelocity or Expedia, a lot of times we're able to find way better prices. Sometimes we're not. And so I'm not gonna say we can always give you better price than Travelocity. The only thing though, I can tell you most of the time that your price in Travelocity does not get or guarantee is what your travel advisor can do. Your travel advisor a lot of times can specialize your vacation, because if we book through uh, a specific hotel, we make direct, when we book the travel, we have access as a travel agent to call different hotels, different travel tours, all these, to make and personalize your vacation. So yes, you might find um, a package on Travelocity for $3,000, and my package is $3,100. But when I book my package, I call the hotel and say, "Hi, my vacation is for a client who's doing so and so and so and so. We need to do this, we need to do that." And a lot of times they accommodate because they have a relationship with the travel advisors.
Absolutely fantastic. And that takes away a lot of headache. Because, I mean, even the very, like a small trip that you're planning, you have to, I mean, it would take a lot of headache from the person who's traveling. And that's time consuming to find this rate and to match that rate and to find the right location. And I mean, it's a lot. And I applaud you and I wish you all the best, all the success with your company. Again, all the information is on the screen. Dr. Duvernay has invited Sonia to be on the platform, and we really are grateful. Dr. Duvernay, by the way, is the director. She's a director of the set, okay, along with Rachelle, the producer, and we have Dr. Azor backing us up, always looking out for us and giving us great ideas. So we are really appreciative. I'm grateful for you, ladies. Thank you again, Miss Sonia, because you came on. So if you are planning on traveling since things are opening, although cases are rising, we need to be very careful. What are the guidelines right now in terms of traveling and COVID 19? Miss Sonia, very important. We cannot leave the set without speaking about that. What are the current guidelines? Is
Well,
the vaccine
as you know,
must? Do you have to be vaccinated to travel and all of that good stuff?
so as you know, the majority of places are open. A lot of the European countries are open. However, there are still a lot of restrictions in place. So most of the places are open in Europe for you to travel if you've been vaccinated. And even then, I do believe there are some countries that are requiring testing to prove that you are not COVID positive. So, yes, there are still a lot of rules and regulations in place. I was reading about travel in Italy, and there are still, so if you go to Italy right now, different Italian countries are divided into zones. So there are places in green zones, then you have yellow zones, and then you have red zones. If you are traveling, you're supposed to stay within either a green zone. You may be able to travel to a yellow zone, but you are not allowed to travel in a red zone. So just because you go to Italy right now doesn't mean you could just go and, you know, go to from this place to the next little town. You have to abide by their rules. There are still a lot of rules and regulations in place. um, I know there are like places like Costa Rica. In order for you to come to Costa Rica, you need to have a you need to have travel insurance, and it's a specific insurance that they want for you to come to their country. So yes, there are different rules and regulations in place. Yes, traveling is available. Yes, traveling is open, but there are still rules and regulations to kind of minimize, any problems, or to minimize us going back to where we were before. So, Ms. Gerald, I hope that helped with that question. Ms. Geralda said, is COVID vaccine mandatory for traveling? There are a lot of places, yes, COVID vaccine is mandatory for traveling. It is not everywhere, but the majority of a lot of international travel, you need to be vaccinated. And as I said, you still need to be tested. Like for instance, Mexico, if you're going to be there, a lot of the places in Mexico, if you're going to be there for more than 3 days, they test you. They test you 3 days while you're there, and then prior to you returning back to the United States, you get tested again. Did that help with the
Does that
questions?
answer the question? Does that, yes, you did wonderful. It's beautiful. And personally, I really learned something because I didn't know, but connais que agence de voyage ou bien um, travel agencies, if you want to put it that way, existed anymore. I thought it was I thought it was obsolete. I thought it was gone. But it's very good to know that you have that to fall back on trip what planifier lie. It's a headache personally to book an airplane ticket to go somewhere. That alone is a headache. So it's very good to know that you are there. Again, si nous voulez contacter Miss Sonia, information on the screen 908-578-8972, and our email is mo.share.amourtravel@gmail.com, and she'll be very, very careful, very nice to help you because as she's given us a lot of information. She knows her stuff, so let's get going and plan accordingly. If you don't get to go this year, next year, 2022, let's go.
And even if you're trying to go for 2022, you need to start traveling now.
For oh, don't wait for 2022, you say.
No,
That's right.
most of your travel can be planned a year ahead. So plan ahead because the world is open and a lot of people are traveling. And because of all the financial burden that's been placed on, a lot of in the travel industry, traveling is, a bit a little bit pricier than normal. So you need to plan ahead so you're not doing any last minute thing that will make it even more costly or prove to be basically impossible to for your travel. So if you're planning to go away next summer in June, go ahead and plan your travel.
Pleasure to have you, Miss Sonia, on this platform.
Thank
Merci pour ce
you.
côté rempli espace là, assoyant. And again, thank you to Dr. D, thank you to Rochelle, thank you for Dr. Azor, et merci encore. I hope that's not going to be the last time. And you guys who are watching for the first time on this platform, please subscribe to this channel, Sarah Batroni. We are here to educate, to remind you, to inform you on your social life and not just the spiritual part, because we are living on earth. Okay? Et pas dire, oh non, mba jam stressé, moi, mba besoin vacances. That doesn't happen. Okay? Don't say that. At times we are so spiritual that we are no earthly good, or we're trying to fool and deceive ourselves. No. You need to relax. And that's also puts you closer to your maker, to God the creator. I was having a conversation with one of my children the other day, and he says, Mommy, I know I'm a Christian and all, I was baptized, but Mommy, nature is really what drove it into me. I was like, what? He says, yes, mommy, nature. When I'm looking at nature, when I'm contemplating nature, taking it in, I'm like, man, I'm looking, he went over everything. I'm looking at the insects, the birds, the sky, the plants, the flowers. He went in on and on and on. And I'm like, wow, it's true. Nature declares the glory of God. It declares that, yeah, there is a creator. So traveling puts you, yes, closer. to God when you contemplate nature and the beauty of the waterfall, Niagara Falls, and all of that. Yeah, absolutely. So, people, pack your bags and let's go. Check your
Yes.
passport and let's go. Call me Sonia tomorrow. All right, Miss,
Yes.
you've been great. Unfortunately, we do have to go. Any last words for the viewers?
I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Thank you for tuning in. I truly enjoyed this. Maybe we could do a follow up and have people talk about the travel love stories that they have created this year, for the rest of the year and next year. So that would be wonderful. Travel, it helps your mental health, it helps you de stress. It is a beautiful thing. And like Pastor Sarah said, it brings you closer to God. Have a good evening.
Good evening. Yes, we'll leave that up to you to bring a couple of your clients who created travel love stories, and we'll put you on as a panel. How's that?
That sounds great.
Yeah. All right. That's a date. That's a date. We don't have the time yet or the date, but yeah, we can do that. God bless you all. I will see you tomorrow morning for prayer. As you know, we are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, tomorrow is a very special day, um, a day that we as Haitians are, we need to be reflecting on that day, pay our respect, our condolences to the President Jovenel Moise, who died, who was assassinated on the 7th of July, and also bring condolences, sympathies to the presidential family, to First Lady Martine Moise and the children, and also pray for the country, for the welfare of the country. Even when Jeremiah was in Babylon, God said to Jeremiah, pray for the welfare of the country that you are in, because your welfare depends on the country's welfare. So we are called to pray for our native land as well as the land of America in which we live. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the morning for prayer and meditation of the Word of God. Sonia, Miss Sonia, God bless you. Good night.
Same to
Thank
you.
you
Good
again.
night.
May the Lord bless you and may the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you. May the Lord give you his grace. May the Lord turn his face towards you. May the Lord give you his peace. Please continue to pray for our homeland, Haiti. God bless you all. Good night. Thank you. Don't forget to share.